been a pretty heavy Marvel news week, mostly because, well, we're kind of heading into that season, right? As we're passing the ice-cold baton from the Thunderbolt, New Avengers, onto Fantastic Flop, where I guess it's got to kind of linger and, just pass or maybe just bounce over the corpse of Ironheart for as much as the MCU wants you to do that. But hey, we're really excited because Ryan Coogler, and he's done other things at other studios that have been successful. But hey, remember he did Black Panther back in 2017, but nobody remembers what happened in 2022. Literally nobody remembers Wakanda Forever. How the fact that they can go ahead and raise the borders of Wakanda with a turntable. It's a very good movie. I'm sure it made all of that money because of how quality the story was, and not because they tried to emotionally bait people into remembering Chadwick Boseman. But no, trying to buoy excitement to the Fantastic Four, and then after that, go to Wonder Man. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's going to be tough sledding for Marvel, especially if some of the early projections for both Jurassic World Rebirth and Superman are led to believe. Oh boy, Fantastic Four. I kind of thought that there was a chance it was going to outperform Superman, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting. I'll be very interested because honestly, I want Superman to succeed. I don't think James Gunn is capable of putting a successful Superman out there. It might be financially successful, but speaking for a quality movie, I'm not really getting my hopes up. But when it comes to Fantastic Four, I already know that shit's going to suck. Oh, but Galactus looks great. He looks comic book accurate. Shut up. Here's the thing. The general public, outside of just sheer member berries with Avengers Doomsday, Marvel apathy is very much here. And it's very much deserved because what they put out is absolute garbage. But one thing that was at least a little bit shocking, but really did just drive this conclusion home at the beginning, well, a couple months back, right? Because this came out in March or something like that. But Daredevil Born Again, when it released, they had some good trailers. There was some good word of mouth, mostly because Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio have been stumping for this project to continue for years, and hearing about how there was going to be a lighter tone and it was going to be a courtroom drama and a comedy with the first kick at the can. But then Cox and D'Onofrio walked into Feige's offices and said, "No, man, this shit's ass. We can't go forward with this." And they scrapped all the production. They redid it again, something that was going to be more faithful. They were going to be bringing back Foggy and Karen. Everything was going to be as you remembered from season 3 of Daredevil. And then nobody watched the fucking show, and good for them because it sucked. Oh, damn. And then you got the confirmation that nobody was watching because the Samba TV numbers, the Illuminate numbers, and now we have the Nielsen rating numbers that, nobody watched this show. Can't even give you a comprehensive analysis for the numbers because it didn't even chart well enough to give us numbers. Daredevil Born Again is a major flop, a catastrophic flop. And no, not because Wilson Fisk was a Trump allegory. Oh, the show went woke. Marvel went woke and got broke. None of that superficial bullshit. It was a bad show. Kingpin was embarrassing. Daredevil telling a career criminal, you know what, you're right, the justice system has let you down, is fucking atrocious. And if Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio signed off on that and thought that it was more in line with their characters, you deserve the failure that you guys got. I'm just glad that Charlie Cox got to be in Claire Obscure Expedition 33 and Vincent D'Onofrio is, well, he's been in some great stuff beforehand, so this isn't going to necessarily ruin their reputations or their prestige, so good on them. But yeah, all episodes failed to chart on Nielsen ratings in a historic first for the MCU. I'm surprised Screen Rant hasn't run an aggrandizing article saying, Daredevil Born Again, I just made a historic milestone for Disney. Because, geez, this is bad. According to the latest Daredevil Born Again Nielsen data, Marvel's latest Disney Plus series is a major flop, failing to appear on Nielsen's weekly streaming charts for a single episode. This marks the first time in MCU history that an original D Plus series has not charted even once during its run. Nielsen released streaming ratings for the week of April 14th through the 20th, which included the release of Born Again's 9th and final episode, Straight to Hell. Yeah, where Kingpin institutes an 8 p.m. curfew in New York City, and it has some weird fucking penumbra of a rule or a ruling to set up a free and lawless port in in Manhattan it's so stupid. It is the dumbest shit imaginable. That episode, like the 8 before it, failed to break into Nielsen's top 10 streaming shows. The cutoff to make the chart that week was 385 million minutes watched, achieved by Paramount's Mobland. A series with fewer available episodes than Daredevil Born Again, but a series that I know a lot of people are actually watching, well, verifiably, because it came in 10th place, which 385 million minutes. Not that great to begin with, but at least at that point in time, April 14th through the 20th, what was that, like 2 or 3 episodes might have been out of Mobland by that point? But anyways, this data confirms that not only did the finale fall below the chart threshold, but the entire season did as well. It's a stark contrast to previous Marvel series, even underperformers like She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, Agatha All Along, that is shocking, and Secret Invasion, all of which charted during their respective debuts. And it's not like there was stiff competition coming out in March for Daredevil. This is, it is a little bit shocking, but it also just shows you the brand fatigue and the fact that you're putting out a sequel season, ostensibly the 4th season of Netflix Daredevil. 8 years? There's just too much of a gap, man. When you take too long to turn around seasons of a show, there's just going to be people that are just going to nope out. Even if you market it, that it's just going to be faithful and honest to the original, even without us knowing what the series is going to be about beforehand. People are just generally not going to care. Disney Plus is a failed service. There's that, and then there's also the reality that Disney treats their franchises like shit. While Marvel has not and likely won't release official streaming numbers, the Nielsen ratings speak volumes. The organization tracks all Disney Plus accounts in the United States through opt-in data, and it's considered the industry standard for measuring performance across streaming platforms. At the same time, Disney-owned Samba TV did not release any household metrics for the show, a move that suggests internal expectations were not met. Yeah, it didn't chart on their top 10 original list either, but they factor in movies as well as TV shows, and yeah, I think Christ almighty, Madam Web even charted. Madam Web, or Craven. No, Craven was up on their top 10 list and not Born Again. It's absolutely wild, man. And to piggyback off another report from earlier this year with Jeremy Renner, this was just a couple of weeks ago, not even but a month ago, I think, coming out and saying that, yeah, Marvel wanted to green light season 2 of Hawkeye, which again is another show that nobody watched, but more people watched that than Daredevil Born Again. But they offered him half the money to do the show. And of course, Jeremy Renner, being a funny and charismatic guy, had a very funny rejoinder. What, I got run over, so you think I'm half the Jeremy, therefore I'm worth half the money? But that's the point, man, because when it comes to MCU productions, Daredevil Born Again is hilariously getting a second season, which even fewer people are going to watch. But the only other show that has got a second season is Loki. Okay, and it also has a legacy character, so are you wondering, is Owen Wilson, being somewhat of a star, at least a recognizable name in Hollywood, did he willingly take a pay cut? Did Short Round, did he knowingly take a lesser pay package off the back of winning an Oscar to come into Marvel knowing that he would get reliable work? Did Tom Hiddleston, a Phase 1 original character, the original big bad for the Avengers, did he take a haircut for Loki Season 2? That's very interesting, if this is anything to go on. Marvel executive claims actor costs prevented second season for Disney Plus shows. Well, here's the thing, because we've heard of gigantic budgets. The previously mentioned Secret Invasion was $212 million, and all you had was, 10 minutes of Bilbo? Martin Freeman was in, one chase scene? Ben Mendelsohn was in there, and you fucking killed him. And Samuel L. Jackson. Outside of that, what Daenerys Targaryen was a big get and you had to just, fork out money hand over fist for her? Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, pretty big name, obviously, all things considered. When it comes to him being a leading man, the last time they tried that with was it Lakeview Terrace? Snakes on a Plane back in the early 2000s. That shit wasn't exactly setting the world on fire. There's a reason that there was never a Nick Fury standalone show back when Marvel was good, and they had to wait until the dying days of the franchise to give him Secret Invasion. All right, yeah, because Rhodey was revealed to be a Skrull, so was Don Cheadle coming in for 2 episodes of that, really? Driving up the budget, but let's see the cope. Brad Winderbaum, head of Marvel's head of streaming television and animation, Claim that the reason Marvel Disney Plus shows typically do not receive a second season is because the cast costs are too high. Speaking to the Hollywood Reporter, Winterbaum revealed the number of Disney Plus shows such as WandaVision, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and others didn't get a second season. Producing shows with marquee names, it made it really challenging to produce second season. The margins on TV are smaller. No, because it's on your shitty service that continues to hemorrhage subscribers. But yeah, okay, Agatha All Along, what was Kitty Foreman a big get? Was she commanding multi-millions of dollars? That's why they had to kill her off in episode 3. What's her name? Catherine Hahn there? Yeah, she's somebody else that you needed to lock down to hundreds of millions of dollars to reprise her role. Like, get out of here. You're a liar. But the one thing that is obvious, yeah, margins on TV are smaller when you don't have the subscriber base to justify these decisions. That makes sense. Winterbaum's comments come in the wake of Jeremy Renner revealing he turned down the second season of Hawkeye because Disney didn't want to pay him the same rate as the first season. In fact, he revealed that they tried to cut his pay in half. They asked me to do season 2 and offered me half the money. I'm like, wow, yeah, that's my line. That's my line. And this is not Marvel. It's just like Disney. Yeah, it's not even really Disney. The accounts told him to go fly a kite. An insult of an offer. Exactly. Clearly, the shows were not able to pay the talent, but it is also likely that the shows are not providing a solid return on interest, as viewership for the Marvel shows have been on a downtrend for years. Exactly. Born Again didn't chart on the Nielsen's top 10. Agatha All Along was only able to attract 426 million minutes in its opening week, and it debuted with, oh god, it had such a wonky release schedule. What did it go? 2-1-2, and then it was just 1 all the way through the end of the 9 episodes. It's so fucking dumb. It would it would manage to garner... Oh, no, right. Sorry, that's my mistake. It was also, Daredevil Born Again that had a wonky fucking release schedule because Agatha, I think it started with 2 and then it ended with 2 because they wanted to release its finale on Halloween. So dumb. Anyways, Agatha All Along managed to garner 744 million minutes for the week of its season finale, but released at 2 episodes that week. So yeah, you had the entire season and then 2 episodes there as well. Marvel dumped all 6 episodes of Echo onto Disney Plus on January 2024. The week that it released attracted 731 million minutes watched. It did not chart after its first week. The second season of Loki only brought in 446 million at its premiere, and that was significantly down from the first season's premiere, which brought in 731 million minutes watched. Yeah, exactly. The proof is in the pudding, man. Nobody's watching these D plus shows. You can continue to try to think that, there are movie stars or that you have, high profile actors within your franchise, but when you continue to treat them like shit, when you feed them lines written in crayon, nobody's going to come back and give you the benefit of the doubt. Marvel fatigue is very much here, and if you think it's a lie, take a look at the box office of the Thunderbolts and just wait for the reckoning that is coming for Fantastic Four. It's going to be hilarious. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.